Hello, and welcome to Embracing Disruption, DTCC's three-part video series on tapping the potential of distributed ledgers to improve the post-trade process. Today, we'd like to welcome Murray Pozmanter. Murray is Managing Director and Head of Clearing Agency Services, Global Operations, and Client Services at DTCC. He is also helping to lead DTCC's work on leveraging blockchain technology, particularly in areas related to clearance and settlement. Murray, thank you for joining us today.
Good to be here, Rob.
There has been a tremendous amount of activity recently as different organizations unveil new proof of concepts and experiments leveraging distributed ledgers. How do you see the implementation of this technology unfolding over the next 5 to 7 years?
I think we're going to see a lot of market participants looking to see where the ideal area is to roll this technology out. I think the thing that we need to be most careful of is not creating a diverse area of different protocols. We need to see firms agree on how this is going to be rolled out, at least from a basic standpoint. You can build on a set of agreed protocols, but we don't want to see 50 different instances of this in the market eventually, because then we're really not creating the consensus that we want to get to.
When we talk about different areas of opportunity, many people have been focused on moving trade settlement onto the blockchain to achieve T+0. I have a two-part question. One, is that even realistic? And two, is distributed ledger technology even necessary to shorten the settlement cycle?
Well, the answer is that it could be realistic at some point to have T0 settlement in the equity markets. We have it in the repo markets today. The reason that we don't have it in the equity markets, though, has nothing to do with the technology that the market runs on. It's more about market behavior and some of the things surrounding equity settlements, such as stock lending, trade breakdowns that have to be given to retail customers. So it's not necessarily a technological barrier that we need to get through. Blockchain could eventually be part of the solution, but this isn't really a technological problem. I mean, we're moving from T3 to T2 now. The industry could easily move to T1 in very much the same way that it's moving to T+2 settlement. T0 would require more changes in sort of the behaviors surrounding the equity market, particularly around stock borrows and informing retail customers of trade breakdowns and institutional trade breakdowns. I think that we could get to T+0. It's just not clear to me that the amount of market structure change that would be warranted to get there is worth the expense, whether it be with blockchain or any other technology.
We've been working with Digital Asset on using distributed ledger platforms to manage clearing and settlement of repo transactions, and we've been working with Axoni and others to test using distributed ledgers to manage the credit default swap trade warehouse implementation. Why were these asset classes chosen first, and do you see other asset classes as potentially good targets to move on to blockchain technologies?
Well, with respect to what we're doing in the GTR space, I think you had a technology there where we were looking to re-platform anyway. So it was a good opportunity to see if the blockchain could be a prime candidate for us to use as the underlying architecture for doing that re-platforming. I think what you'll always need to be careful of as you're looking at where the use cases for blockchain are is not to just use it to re-platform for re-platforming's sake. If there's already going to be a replacement of technology, then it makes sense to look and see if it can be done more efficiently or more cheaply with the blockchain. Conversely, when you look at the repo case study, we're not going to be re-platforming what everyone does. In fact, we're going to be looking to maintain as much of the current market structure as we can. That market already settles T0. What we can't do is we can't do netting on T0, so intraday netting in FICC. What we're seeing there is the potential for the blockchain to enable us to take that last step. So have it additive to the existing infrastructure, not replacing the existing infrastructure.
Very interesting. So the blockchain that's supposed to displace the intermediary is actually assisting the intermediary.
Absolutely, and I think that you're going to see that in more and more places as people become familiar with how to use the technology and where the optimal use cases are. There are certainly things that could be changed and players that could be disintermediated through some of the market structure change. I think that everyone's in agreement that there's opportunities for market structure change, and we certainly want to be at the forefront.
Excellent, Murray. Very exciting. Thank you for joining us today. We look forward to continuing this conversation with you as we advance this technology in the marketplace. I'm Rob Palatnik, Chief Technology Architect at DTCC. We appreciate you watching with us.